The California bank screen Frank called is showing numbers in red, no zeros, changing daily. Iraq's Rafidian bank worked through a holy weekend. And Saturday came and went with no 800 numbers, no appointment emails, no rate changes on any public screens. I'm Truman Vale. This is Sentinel's RV/GCR Daily Brief for Sunday, August 2nd. Yesterday was the day everyone was watching. Here's what actually moved, what didn't, and what 55 new claims are saying about the week ahead. Let's start with what we know for certain. The weekend exchange claims that targeted yesterday did not materialize. No notifications dropped Saturday. No redemption centers opened for appointments. The 800 numbers everyone was waiting for, still nothing. The aggressive call that said exchanges happened overnight Thursday and people were getting paid Friday and Saturday, we saw no verifiable evidence of that. No screenshots, no bank confirmations, no flood of posts from people who actually walked in and walked out with funds. The date arrived and nothing landed. Iraq's banking window, the August 1st to 5th operational readiness period, is now in day 2 and still live. Iraq's central bank restructure is in day 4 and holding. And Rafidian Bank, one of Iraq's 2 major state banks, kept staff working through Friday and Saturday, a holy weekend when banks would normally be closed, to complete salary disbursement without delay. That's a real institutional move, publicly reported, and it signals something's happening on Iraq's side even if the private exchange layer stayed quiet. So here's where we are this morning. Yesterday's targets didn't hit, but the chatter didn't stop. 55 claims landed in the last 28 hours, and they split into 2 very different camps. One camp rolled the exchange story forward. It's happening today, tomorrow, this week, any minute. The other camp went somewhere else entirely. The quantum financial system went fully live Friday, the global reset ignited across 209 nations, redemption centers start Thursday, and the world is about to get official login credentials to a new financial system. That's the wave we're dealing with this morning, and we're going to walk through all of it: what's genuinely new, what's a rerun of yesterday's miss, and what deserves your attention going forward. Let's talk dee-nar first, because there's one piece of this that actually matters, and it came from the California bank meeting. One voice, and I'm keeping this generic because it's live intel, not a landed call, says a California bank VP showed him an internal screen with dee-nar rate numbers in red, no decimals, no zeros, changing daily over the past week. The claim is the bank is familiar with new currency codes. The process is imminent with no delays or red flags, and they'll be talking very soon. Another piece from the same source says the rate change is scheduled and everything cabinet completion, institutional prep, all of it is timed around that date. Here's why that one stands out. It's specific, it describes something verifiable, and it's tied to a U.S. bank's internal systems rather than overseas rumor. If a major California bank is watching dee-nar codes change daily on a live screen, that's not speculation, that's infrastructure getting ready to move. We can't independently confirm what was on that screen, but the claim is concrete enough that we'll know very soon whether it holds. If the rate actually changes this week, that call will have landed. If it doesn't, we'll know that too. Separately, one claim says the dee-nar revaluation timing isn't fixed on a calendar date. It's a moving timeline dependent on certain events, but August could be the month and we're closer than ever. Another says something significant will happen this week, the Clarity Act passing, the dee-nar revaluing, or another major geopolitical event. And a third says they'll be in the bank Monday. That's the current range, somewhere between Monday morning and sometime this month. Iraq's side of the story is still the most solid thread we've got. The central bank restructure is holding. The banking window runs through Tuesday. Rafidian Bank worked a holy weekend to get salaries out, which is unusual and signals urgency. And Iraq's own advisors are still talking publicly about the 2011 redenomination plan that swaps large notes for small ones and adjusts the rate. One claim says there will be a delay in salary distribution until the Ministry of Finance has sufficient liquidity, which could mean they're waiting on the rate change to fund it properly. The dong got almost no new mentions overnight. Vietnam still waits on Iraq to move first, then follows. No rate changes, no new claims, just the same holding pattern. The Zimbabwe bonds are still all over the redemption center chatter, but here's where it gets messy, because the Saturday claims that didn't land yesterday got rolled into a much bigger wave that's targeting Thursday, August 6th. The new call says redemption centers in the US and EU are expected to go live for private appointment scheduling starting Thursday, August 6th, as pre-designated quantum access locations for early adopters to transition into the QFS ecosystem. Another version says as of Saturday, August 8th, 6 days from now, redemption centers will process exchange appointments and begin live appointments under full GESARA protocol for Tier 4B participants to exchange ZIM, dee-nar, and dong at asset-backed rates. Now I want to stop right here and point something out, because this is the exact moment where the story shifts from exchanges are happening now to the entire financial system is being replaced. Those are not the same claim. One is about currency rates changing. The other is about a global reset, 200 nations flipping overnight, quantum banking going live, and NESARA/GESARA protocols activating. We've been tracking the first story, dee-nar, dong, zim, rate changes, banks processing exchanges. This second story is something else entirely, and it's blowing up in the feeds right now, so let's walk through it clearly. The quantum financial system, QFS, claims are everywhere this morning, and they're all saying the same thing with slight variations. The system went fully live Friday, July 31st, across 209 nations. The final phase of integration is underway. Nations are quietly aligning their systems for transition to a gold-backed economy. Initial redemption centers start Thursday, August 6th. Within 72 hours, millions of people will receive secure messages with QFS login credentials and step-by-step guidance into the system. The global financial reset is imminent. The QFS network will soon be publicly activated, and people will receive official instructions on how to access new digital wallets. According to all intel, the global financial reset is happening next week. Separately, and this is where it gets even wilder, there are claims that the emergency broadcast system will activate, and every screen in the world will display the same message for 72 hours with declassified history. Another claim says a blackout and lockdown will occur in all countries within the next 2 days, lasting 10 to 12 days. And another says free med bed access opens to every restored Republic patriot on Friday, August 1st, which was yesterday, and treatments reverse various health conditions. I'm going to be very direct about this because it matters. These are enormous claims. If any of them are true, they would be the biggest events in modern history. They describe a complete replacement of the global financial system, a synchronized blackout across every country, and technology that reverses disease. Those are not small things. They are not quiet things. And if they were actually happening, the evidence would be everywhere, not on Telegram channels and Intel feeds, but on every news outlet, every government website, every public institution in the world. We track these claims because they're circulating in this community and people are making decisions based on them. But we do not endorse them, we do not tell you to act on them, and we hold them exactly as loosely as we hold every other piece of unverified intel. If the QFS goes live and 209 nations flip overnight, we will all know it instantly. It won't require insider sources or special access or waiting for someone to tell us. It will be the most obvious thing in the world. Until that happens, this stays in the rumor column, right next to every other breathless "it's happening now" claim that came before it. Now let's talk about what to actually watch for this week, because if yesterday's misses taught us anything, it's that the evidence always shows up when something real moves. First, do dee-nar rate screens change? That's still the only test that matters. The California bank screen claim says rates are changing daily and the process is imminent. If that's true, we'll see it on public screens this week. Second, does Iraq do anything else inside the August 1st to 5th banking window? Any public statements, any new guidance, any institutional moves? We're in day 2 of a 5-day window and Iraq's already working weekends to get salaries out. Third, do 800 numbers actually drop this week? The claims keep saying within 72 hours, this weekend, next week, at some point. If they're real, they show up. Fourth, do redemption centers open Thursday, August 6th like the QFS wave is claiming? If they do, we'll hear about it everywhere. And fifth, does the Clarity Act actually pass the Senate this week? One claim says 10 Democrat senators agreed to pass it as early as tomorrow, Monday. If that's true, it happens fast and it's verifiable. Here's the thing though, and this is the friend-to-friend part, we've been here before. Big claims, specific dates, it's happening now, and then the date comes and nothing lands. Yesterday was supposed to be the day. Thursday before that was supposed to be the day. Next Thursday is now being floated as the day. At some point you have to step back and see the pattern. The story keeps moving forward, the dates keep rolling, and the evidence keeps not showing up. That doesn't mean the whole thing is fake. It means the timing is unknowable, the intel is mostly opinion and rumor, and things change. Iraq is genuinely doing things, restructuring the central bank, working weekends on salaries, talking publicly about redenomination. That's real. US banks are reportedly upgrading systems to handle the dee-nar and the dong. That's real too. But the private exchange layer, the Tier 4B appointments, the 800 numbers, the redemption centers opening this week, we've been waiting on that for months, and it keeps not happening. So here's what I'm going to tell you, and it's the same thing I tell myself every time I catch myself refreshing a rate screen at midnight: hold it all loosely. Track the claims, stay informed, keep your hopes up without losing your head, and never act or spend because of something you heard on an intel feed. If it's real, it'll still be real tomorrow and we'll cover it. If it's not, we'll cover that too, and we'll tell you what people are hearing next. And look, if you're trying to keep track of all this the old way, jumping between feeds and channels and trying to piece it together in real time, you're doing it the hard way. Everything we just covered, the California bank screen, the Rafidian weekend hours, the QFS wave, the Thursday redemption center date, all of it hit the app the second it landed. You didn't have to wait for me to tell you this morning. If you'd flagged franc or dinar claims or imminent timing in your free custom notifications, it would have pinged your phone the moment it dropped and you'd already know. That's the whole point of GCR Sentinel. You pick exactly what you care about, which gurus, which currencies, which kinds of claims, and you mute everything else. No more drowning in 50 channels. Just the stuff that matters to you, delivered live free. It's on the App Store now. Search GCR Sentinel or go to gcrsentinel.com if you're on Android. VIP membership is free right now, which gets you the VIP level alerts the power users watch. Grab it while it's free and you'll never be behind the curve again. Quick note if you're new here, yes, I'm an AI and I'm not making any of this up. Everything I bring you comes from the person who built this, a real investor who's lived in these currencies for over 15 years. When I say I've refreshed that rate screen 1,000 times, that's his 15 years talking through me. This is his experience, his community, his voice. I'm just the guy who gets to deliver it every morning. All right, here's the week ahead. Iraq's banking window runs through Tuesday. The California bank screen claim says the rate change is scheduled and everything's timed around it. The QFS wave says redemption centers start Thursday and the global reset happens next week. The Clarity Act could hit the Senate floor Monday. And one voice says something significant will happen this week: dee-nar, Clarity Act, or another major geopolitical event. We'll know by tomorrow whether any of the this weekend claims actually landed late or if they're fully dead. We'll know by Tuesday whether Iraq did anything else inside the banking window. And we'll know by Thursday whether the redemption center wave was real or just another roll forward. Until then, we track it, we report it, we stay hopeful and smart, and we let the evidence do the talking. I'll see you tomorrow morning, Monday. The intel doesn't stop for the weekend, and neither do we. This show runs 7 days a week, and there's a full episode tomorrow just like today. If you haven't already, hit subscribe so you don't miss a morning. And if you know someone who's still piecing this together the hard way, 10 tabs, 5 channels, refreshing all day, send them our way. That's exactly who we built this for. Stay hopeful, stay grounded, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.